Welcome to the Anderson and Lindhardt Show. This is episode 40. This episode is a doozy. We talk all things fitness, training, cold thermogenesis, the benefits of saunas and hot yoga, kettlebells, the importance of maintaining a high VO2 max and a low resting heart rate, and much more with our good friend Jackson Brinkerhoff. Thank you so much for listening. God bless y'all.
Well, this is episode 40, so we're having Jackson on the big episodes. Had him on episode 20, brought his wonderful wife on and dropped some knowledge bombs on us. And today we're excited to kind of dive into more of a little bit of what Reese is trying to do in his professional ventures, as well as kind of I think I'm excited to kind of see what Jackson's training regimen is, some of the things that he does to get himself in shape for basketball season. Cause I know it's like training for a sport is a lot different than, a lot of the things that me and Reese have talked about, where you're just trying to be healthy. So I'm interested to just kind of see the training regimen and a lot of the ideas that we can kind of come up with and just, be able to talk about, being healthy and, I've just been, I'm just excited. So we'll see how it goes. I'm pumped.
Yeah, I'm excited too, because just to preface, it's like this is like the beginning of my venture, like Carter said, my professional venture. And it's like, I don't know how to do this yet. And so that's why I'm really grateful for friends like you, Jackson. And I have another friend from the mission that neither of you know because he was from Chesapeake, but like, I want to do the same thing with him. He reached out to me and it's like, I want to practice on my friends, get really good. And then, then I can start charging people. So this is a learning process. So bear with me if I don't know where to go with things, but all I have in mind really is Jackson, I just kind of want to hear what you're doing right now. Cause like Carter said, training an athlete is completely different than like bodybuilding or just training to be healthy. Like, you're trying to perform a game very well. And it's like, if you're in there, if Jackson was bodybuilding right now, he'd be ruining his game so bad, like he can't be in there lifting like a bodybuilder every day or else he's not going to perform well playing basketball. And so, and that's how it is with every sport, unless you're bodybuilding. But anyways, so what kind of is your training? Like, are you following, do you have to work out with the team? That's like the first thing I wanted to know. Are you required to work out with the team ever? If so, what do those exercises look like? Let's just start there.
Yeah. So every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, we have a team kind of lift outside of practice. So we have a personal trainer at the school and he does his thing. And, for the most part, it's pretty good, but it's a lot of like maintaining different muscle you've already put on and stuff. It's not really helping you progress. So that's why I reached out, is because I knew what I was going to get into, where it was more like, hey, we're just going to like continue to maintain your athleticism, maintain your strength. We're not going to try to build muscle or anything else like that. So I was like, I need to do something, because last year when I was doing that, I got super skinny. I lost a ton of weight and a lot of muscle. And so I knew I needed something extra. And so that stuff you sent me, I went over it like right as you sent it, because I was like, I wanted to get on it as soon as I could. And after what I read, obviously I had a little bit understanding about nutrition, but like what you said about that has really helped me. Maddie, you've been focusing on that a ton.
Oh, cool.
Is our nutrition.
Yeah.
And like the protein intake and stuff like that's huge for sure. And I didn't realize the importance of that. Even with the goal that I have, which is to just kind of get leaner, more toned instead of putting on more muscle. Because that's what I thought.
That's my specialty, bro. Getting lean.
No, right, for sure. But because I knew protein was important to build muscle and bulk up, but it's just as important in anything else you're doing. So once I read through that document you sent me, I just kind of did a ton of research for basketball specific lifts that would help, lean out, tone, but still continue to build strength. And I just kind of put together this thing and I've been doing it for a while. So when we're not lifting as a team, which is Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. I'll go and lift on my own.
Okay, cool.
It's helped a ton.
Awesome. And so when you're doing those, so you work out with the team 3 days a week, how, like, is it, well, yeah, just take me through like a Wednesday workout with the team. Like, what exercises do you do? Is it moderate weight? Are you going heavy, light, just kind of all around? What's it like?
Honestly, it depends. Like, it's just the guy we have, I mean, he does his best, but he just kind of is all over the place. He doesn't really have anything set most of the time. I mean, like, he has the workouts he wants to do and like how much weight he wants, but there's no consistency week by week. So yesterday we had a lift and it was like one set of 20, one set of 15, one set of 10, one set of 5. And it's the first time we did this, and we had just a whole bunch of different things. We had curls, we had bench, then we had like goblet squats, and then lunges. And so we were just kind of all over the place, just working every muscle group. And
did you get sore from that?
Not really. Like, it's not like I wasn't doing a lot of weight, but it's just kind of a weird, I don't know. It's just weird when you're not working one specific thing. Like, if you're going to work chest, I feel like you need to work shoulders and back and, keep it consistent. But like, I don't know. That's just me. It's just kind of interesting how he does it. It's just weird.
And it's hard for him, like, being, trying to manage a whole team because everybody's body's so different.
Right.
That's why it's called a personal trainer.
Right.
If there's a team trainer, they should be called that, because it's like everyone's body's different. What works for, Carter's shoulders he's recovering from that injury he had. It's like, if the team workout, if we were doing military presses that day, it's like Carter might hurt himself, or somebody who has a past shoulder injury might hurt themselves. And like, if I was doing personal training, I'd be like, hey, let's go do like, super light dumbbell raises or something for you, Carter, and those guys can go press. But anyways, are those workouts like, so they're not like full body, but they're just kind of like some random body parts, like a little bit of legs, maybe a shoulder workout, maybe a back workout, like they're just kind of random?
Yeah. And again, it depends. Like, sometimes it's that, sometimes it's all chest, sometimes it's all shoulders, sometimes it's all legs.
Dang. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So it is literally all over the place.
It's like literally, yeah, he is not lying about this. And then, so I don't know, are you doing more like bodybuilding style workouts on your personal days where you're just kind of doing like, you're picking, like, if you're doing chest, you're picking like 4 to 5 exercises and you're doing like 3 to 4 sets per exercise? Are you kind of just doing like bodybuilding where you're in there for like an hour?
Yeah. So I'm actually doing it more like a HIIT kind of workout.
Cool.
Where it's just like 25, 30 minutes,
Mm-hmm.
just super high intensity, no breaks in between sets, and then I'm supersetting every time.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll have 3 different workouts.
What does it mean to superset?
Reese will probably explain it better than me. I'll probably lose. Yeah.
Superset's simple. So it's like, superset is where you take 2 exercises and you're going to do say you're going to do a set of tricep extensions and then a set of cable, like X crossovers for your chest. So those are the 2 exercises. Well, a superset would be you do your set of tricep extensions, and then as soon as you're done with that and you put you drop the cable, then you get right onto the next one. So there's no breaks. And then once you're done with the chest exercise that you picked, then that's the set. And then you rest. So a superset is just lumping 2 exercises together. It's really high intensity stuff if you do that.
I mean, clearly I know what it is. I just didn't know.
He's like, I was just doing it to clear.
I just didn't know what the name of it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's like a super common thing, especially for basketball, is just supersets. Mm-hmm. So I've been doing it for 3 exercises. So it's just like back to back, and I've been varying it. So like sometimes it's legs and then sometimes it's upper body, but each superset will have like biceps, back, and then like chest or something. And then the next one will be shoulders, triceps, and maybe another chest. It just varies. So
cool.
Yeah, it's been good though.
Okay, awesome. Well, so what I was going to say is like for basketball, what I've been thinking is like, okay, if you're training for a sport like basketball, where you're running a lot, you need a strong heart, your cardiovascular system needs to be on point, or else you're just going to freaking like gas out, in the first quarter, or I guess half for college. But anyways, like what I would suggest for a basketball player, is mostly doing what you're doing, HIIT exercises, a lot of supersets, So my next question is, do you dabble with the kettlebells at all?
I love the kettlebells, man.
Heck yeah, dude.
I spent a lot of time reading about what you said about the kettlebells, and I was like, man, like,
Dude, I can't
where's
remember what I
kettlebell?
sent you. I'm kind of scared. I'm like, did I say anything stupid in there?
No, you say all good stuff, dude, for real. But no, the kettlebells have been good. And as I looked it up, almost every single basketball workout article I found was like kettlebells, kettlebells,
Dude,
kettlebells,
that's
like
awesome.
incorporate them. So,
Kettlebells are just so freaking awesome.
Is
Like,
that because it also incorporates core? Like that's what I would
oh,
imagine is
yeah,
that because my dad, every time I'm working out, like in high school and since I've been home, you know, especially when I was focusing on basketball training, was like, you need to strengthen your core because your core is, you know, has to do with every aspect of basketball. So I was curious, is that why kettlebells are so huge in that aspect of basketball training?
it's a big reason. I don't know.
yeah.
What would you say from your anecdotal evidence? Like, how do you feel after implementing kettlebells? Have you noticed a difference with like stability or strength?
No, I definitely have well, it's funny you say stability because that's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
It's just super like, because a lot of it's, I mean, the workouts that I saw, it's like balancing on like a Bosu ball with kettlebells, whether it's flies or
Cool. Yeah.
raises or something like that. So you got to go light because
Go
kettlebells
light.
are, yeah, they're hard to balance, but no,
Mhm.
stability is I've seen a big difference in that.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause, yeah, kettlebells are amazing. Like I've been doing this exercise almost every day this past week. It's just a farmer carry. And you can use
Mhm.
dumbbells for this one too, but like if I'm already using a dumbbell or a kettlebell, I'll just use my kettlebell. But I'll just grab like nothing crazy. Like for me, right now with the way my core feels, I'm just using like a 45 pound kettlebell. And then Vasa just has a turf area. And I think it's like 30 yards, and so I'll just, hold it on my left side. And then the goal is you'll feel, so if I'm holding the dumbbell or kettlebell on my left side, then right here on my core, like my abs, like that's where you should feel most of the tension. And you want to, stretch that and try to walk as normal as possible, slow and controlled. Don't go like this every step, but like try to walk slow and controlled. And I've been doing those. And then, you switch and you walk back, and I do probably 36, I don't know, probably 200 yards of that. And dude, it's insane. Stability is like one of the main things that I feel from kettlebells. And you probably do kettlebell swings. Like kettlebell swings are freaking amazing. It's like a deadlift, but it can be turned into almost like like a hit workout, like a cardio workout, so it's like it's working out all the same muscles that your deadlift is, but you can grab a 30-pound kettlebell and just do that for like a minute straight and you're going to be pooped after. But so yeah, I would always just suggest kettlebells. I'm still learning. Like, I don't know if you've done the Turkish get up. Have you done that exercise?
Yeah, I hate those, bro.
So I haven't done them yet, but because I want to get more comfortable. Like I've learned how to clean a kettlebell so it doesn't smack your arm. And so
Right.
oh gosh, yeah, because a lot of homies they freaking clean a kettlebell like this, and then it's like 40 pounds just like on their right here, and they get these massive bruises. And so I watch tons of videos like, hey, how do you clean a kettlebell? And so like I'm still learning how to, and so I can clean now. And so now the next exercise I want to learn how to do is the Turkish get up, because these are exercises that,
So
like,
what is the Turkish?
it looks silly. So what you do is you lay on the ground on your back. I think you start on your back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Jackson, you say, but it's like
So
it's a stability exercise for
It's
sure.
super weird. And I know like a lot of people won't see it, but I'm going to still kind of like explain it. So you lay on your back and
Yeah.
you have your arm like this, and you do like a sit up on your back arm. And then you like have to flip your leg underneath your other leg and like stand up all the way. And you have to keep the kettlebell like straight up the whole time. Like it's crazy. And then you have to go back down and like reverse your legs and then get back to your back. That wasn't the best explanation, but
For those watching, I'm showing a little clip. So you see how she's
Okay.
controlling it? She's keeping it straight up the whole time. She's doing it like perfect form just to show you how to do it. But
yeah.
and then you have to get back down and see how her arm is just up, and the kettlebell is like in the same.
Dude, who even thought of that?
Russians, dude,
it's
it's Russians. Russians, the reason they're so jacked is because like every Russian is obsessed with kettlebells. Like in America, it's like if you go into a gym, probably 30% of the people there use kettlebells. And 15 years ago, it was probably only like 5% used kettlebells. But if you go to Russia, every single gym is just full of kettlebells. It's all barbells and kettlebells. But in America, it's just barbells and dumbbells and machines, you know, which is awesome. I love all those things just for different purposes. But in Russia, it's like, it's kettlebells for days. And so now it's finally making its way over here because athletes are like, where have these been? Like, these are making us so strong because, you know, we can do the bodybuilder type stuff with machines and stuff and really target muscles and get some mass. But once you have the mass on there as an athlete, you don't want too much muscle because your body, well, here's a cool fact I've just learned. So you know, everyone knows like generally there's two types of muscle, type 1 and type 2. And type 1 muscle is really slow. It's like so type 1 muscle is really slow. It can receive tons of oxygen. So it fatigues very slowly. So think about when you're standing up for like 2 hours, you're having all these tiny little muscles keep you up, and they're, you know, if you really tune into your body when you're standing, you'll notice you sway a little bit and your muscles
That's weird to think about. It's
your
like
muscles are keeping you up.
Yeah.
Isn't that insane? So it's like you have these muscles, these type 1 muscle fibers that they can just go forever. They can go all day. Your neck muscles have tons of type 1 muscles in them because it's keeping our head up all freaking day. And like for the most part, you don't even feel tired. But you know, type 2 is very strong, powerful, and fast, like the fast twitch muscles. And those fatigue very quickly. You know, you go grab a barbell and do 20 curls, and by the end of those 20 curls, all those type 2 muscle fibers in your biceps are going to be so fatigued that you're going to have to drop the bar and take a break. But you obviously need both. But anyways, what I was going to say is this type 2, I think it's the type 2 muscle. Anyways, if you have a lot of muscle mass on your body, your body has to cool it. And so your metabolism and your body is using all it's using all this energy to cool your muscles. And it just takes a lot to maintain a lot of muscle. That's why, like, I'll say it again. And I really believe this after like doing soul searching, I guess, is like, if you want to be a bodybuilder, then cool, do that, put on a ton of muscle. But like, if you want to live long, be athletic, be healthy, be coordinated, be balanced, whatever, be an optimized human being, do not bodybuild, because you're just going to put on a ton of muscle on your body and your body's going to have to maintain it and cool it. I mean, think about computers, how they have to be cooled, like big software companies, they have
computers sounding like it's taking off like a plane.
Exactly. Yeah. You're like, oh gosh, is it going to fly away? But it's the same thing with your body. It just takes a lot of energy for your body to maintain. And that energy that's being used to maintain tons of muscle mass so you look huge could be used to healing injuries and for your immune system and for thinking and for things like that. And for an athlete, you're getting tons of micro injuries probably every single game. I mean, you're getting these micro injuries that may go under the radar every single practice game. And then, you know, you walk into a gym and you injure yourself on purpose. Like, that's what working out is. It's like, okay, let me go injure myself right now. But if you have that extra energy, your body can use it to heal faster, you know, so you can bounce back. And besides, right now we're in our early 20s, we have tons of human growth hormone and testosterone in our body. So we heal like this, but we're not going to be like that forever, but we can do things to keep those levels high so that we can heal, you know, just as fast as we did when we're this age. And that's the goal. You know, the goal is to be fit, you know,
like Tom
forever.
Brady or Russell Wilson or LeBron James, where they're just like defying.
Exactly. And people will say, like, my old boss, he's 36 and he just is like, his body sucks. He's not overweight or anything, but his body sucks. He's always in pain. He has insomnia. He never sleeps. He sleeps like 2 hours a night. He's aching. His knee like popped out one day almost at work. And he was like, oh, my knee, like he couldn't even put weight on it or else the nerves would hurt so bad. And I was like, dude, you're 36. Like, you act like you're so old. And he's like, and I was like, look at LeBron James. You're the same age as LeBron pretty much. And he said, well, I don't have all the money like he does that he can invest into your body. And I'm like, that's such a myth. It doesn't take a lot of money to have a healthy body. It really doesn't. But there's just things that people don't know. And so basically with the training aspect, Jackson, I think like what you're doing is awesome. Just keep doing, like, I like the HIIT idea, like go in there for 20 to 30 minutes. You don't need to, as an athlete, you don't need to be in the gym for 3-4 hours. Like if you're bodybuilding, those guys can go in the gym for 2 hours. They're taking tons of supplements. They're taking tons of rest between their sets. Like their whole life is bodybuilding. But if you're trying to be an athlete, go get in the gym for 30 minutes. And then throughout the day, just make sure you're walking a lot. to getting your steps in. Like I've been doing that lately because I've been realizing like, dang, my step count is like really low. And, you know, our step count should be at least 10,000 a day. And I'm like, wow, my numbers, I don't have anything to track, but like, I'm guessing my steps have probably been around like 5K or less, which is just sad. I'm like, dang, that's like an obese American. Like I need to get these steps up. So me and Riley have been going on walks and stuff, but do like low level activity throughout the day, you know, so maybe if you're studying at one time, maybe just like put it up on your dresser and study standing up for a minute, let those balancing muscles kick in for an hour or so, and then take walks. But yeah, I don't really want to spend too much time on the training aspect because it kind of seems like you've got it down, and everyone's body's different. Like, you know, your body best. And yeah, I would just keep doing kettlebells, keep doing those high intensity supersets, like stuff like that. And one thing I would recommend trying, and actually you probably already do this with your team, but maybe doing like slower exercises throughout the week. Maybe only like 1 or 2 workouts in the whole week should be like slow, controlled, more bodybuilding style. But the rest, as an athlete, you should be getting those fast twitch muscles like really, really conditioned. But unless you have anything else to say about the training, I'd like to move on to like more like nutrition stuff.
I was just curious to try and get a little bit of background, but outside of like going and actually playing basketball, are you doing anything specific for cardio? Because I was just curious on that, because I think that has a huge play into nutrition and recovery, is how much cardio you're doing. Because obviously, like playing basketball, you're just like running all the time. You run as a punishment, and so it's like you're doing that. But I was wondering if you're doing anything outside of that to like work on your cardio.
Yeah, that's a good question. So we have a thing on our team that you have to run a mile in 5 minutes and 45 seconds if you want to be considered a starter.
Wow.
So everybody can make it, but if you don't make it, then you won't start in any games. So earlier, like last month in late August, that's when we started doing that. And so I was running a mile like sometimes two times a day, a couple times a week. And so that was a lot of cardio.
What were you at? What was your
on.
time when you started?
When I started, my fastest one was 6:09. And
that's nice.
And my slowest one was like 6:45. Like I was super slow. But then like once practice
that's
started,
faster than like 99.9% of the population.
I know, you go to PE and you got kids running 15-minute miles. You're like, oh my word.
They're just walking.
Dude, that was me. I would just walk with the fat kid. I'm serious. This Diego kid, he was like 300 pounds, and I would just walk with him. We've got like a 12-minute mile. Like, let's go, bro. 12 minutes. Yeah.
For like the fitness gram or whatever.
Yeah.
Dude, that's funny. That's funny. But yeah, so I mean, then you just keep doing it, and you know, coaches are always like, hey, you know, if you want to start, then you got to make it. So then you just get in there on your own and you just run it. And I actually I made it, but I had like a foot thing with it, and I had to go get an x-ray because I thought I had a stress fracture because I was running it so much. It was crazy.
Dang.
But I ran it in 5:39.
Wow.
And so
holy crap.
Once the x-ray came back, my coach was like, dude, if you made it, because we still have like 4 or 5 guys that haven't made it. He's like, dude, if you made it on like a stress fractured foot, nobody has any excuse. Like, I'm gonna be on him. I was like, it's not stress fractured, so it's like you're
you
good,
should just tell him,
dude, I'm hard, bro.
No, like it hurt, dude. Anyway, that's just kind of getting off topic, but like I think something that taught me was like, if you're just like always working, like, I mean, your body obviously has to feel good in order for you to make that mile, but it's really just heart rate, breathing, things like that. Like that's what made the difference for me, was just running it like 5 times a week, 6 times a week, and just working up that stamina. It wasn't even so much the physical aspect of it. It's just, you know, stuff like that. So I thought that was pretty cool. But right now, other than like just not taking too many breaks between lifting, I think that's something that you know, gets my heart rate going and keeps me in shape pretty well. And then usually either for a cool down or for a warm up, I'll run like a mile on the treadmill still and just do something like that. But other than that, we run enough in practice. I don't do too much extra cardio.
No, that's what I was thinking. And I was going to say that anytime you're doing, like, if you're doing a superset with, you know, kettlebells or something like that, you're going to get your heart rate into cardio levels. And most people don't know this, which is interesting because it's pretty common knowledge, at least in the fitness industry, if you know anything about the fitness industry. But your body doesn't burn fat very well when your heart rate is in the cardio zone. And everyone's zones are different because all of our bodies are different. Like my cardio zone is higher than Riley's. But there's a fat burning zone they call, and that's typically anywhere from like 110, 120 to 140.
This is your heart rate, right?
Yeah, this is your heart rate. And that's where your body, if you're doing exercises, can burn. That's where it'll start to tap into your fat. But yeah, cardio is very important. Cardio is more important. People think it's important for fat loss, and it's like, no, it's not important for fat loss. The reason we want to do cardio is to have a strong heart and to have a higher VO2 max, because a VO2 max is like how much oxygen are you utilizing? Because all three of us right here, we're all breathing every single day, but our bodies uptake oxygen different than one another. And like my body might struggle getting as much oxygen as Carter can get in one breath. Like I might have to take 2 breaths from my body to get the same amount of oxygen. So, but you can train this VO2 max, and you really only need to train it like once every 10 to 14 days. And there's this type of set. I'll research it, Jackson, and send it to you after. It's this type of set you do, and you just want to do it like once every 2 weeks to train your VO2 max. And then obviously when you have a higher VO2 max, you can run longer, you can play longer, you can lift longer, because you're supplying more oxygen to your muscles, so they fatigue less quickly. And so
that's increasing
your
oxygen intake is what the VO2 max is. That's what it is doing.
Yes, it's making your lungs and your heart and your blood better at taking the oxygen in, because when you breathe in, X amount of oxygen goes into your lungs, the blood comes by. Like I think about it like a little subway cart. It's like the blood comes by, they stop by the lungs and they pick up the oxygen, and then they keep going throughout the body. But some people's VO2 max sucks so bad because they sit on couches all day that their body sucks at uptaking oxygen. And say like 100 little oxygen, so to speak, like 100 little oxygen molecules go into your lungs, their little subway comes by their lungs and maybe picks up 20. But somebody like me, Carter, Jackson, we're more fit, trained people. We could probably pick up like 80 of those little molecules and take them throughout the body. So you want to like train that.
Cleaning out like the air filter in your house. Like,
yeah, that's exactly. And so you want to have, if you want to be a fit person, you have to have muscles, strong bones, and a very strong cardiovascular system. Your heart needs to be on point. And like a good way to kind of get an idea of how your heart health is look at your resting heart rate. The average resting heart rate for men is like in the low 60s, upper 60s. So like 65, 67. Women is more like into the 70s. But like for example, my resting heart rate is anywhere from 48 to 55, like within there. I've seen it, 47 is the lowest I've ever seen it, but on average I'm in the low 50s. And I would think you guys are probably pretty similar, low 60s.
I was actually 50s. I was checking mine, mine today has been 42.
Dang. See, so freaking Jackson's heart is super strong. And if you're in the 40s and 50s, then you're in the athletic zone. Like you're a fit human being. Your heart is doing what it's supposed to. It doesn't have to use as much energy to get as much blood. Like one pump of the heart in Jackson's body could get blood. He's a tall man. He's 6'7". Like one pump of his heart can get blood throughout, probably all the way down to his feet. But somebody who's very sedentary, works a desk job, they drive in traffic every day, they sit on the couch, and they're maybe logging 2,000 steps a day, and they don't exercise, and they're eating like crap. Their heart, their resting heart rate's probably going to be in the 70s because it has to work harder just to pump blood. So the reason we do cardio, at least the main reason, not the reason, there's many reasons why we do a lot of things, but the main reason I would say is to have a strong heart and to optimize your VO2 max, because you want to be able to just take a deep breath as an athlete. Like if someone's shooting free throws and you're getting that 2-minute rest, you want to be able to get as much oxygen into your muscles so that you can keep playing and that your body can keep going, or else you're just going to fatigue, and so that's really important. So I think, dude, you're set on the training thing. I'm pretty excited to talk more about like nutrition, but also some, it's called biohacking. Have you guys heard this term before?
I've heard it, but I don't know what it is at all.
Yeah. So apparently I've been obsessed with biohacking for like 3 years and I had no idea that's what it was called. So all biohacking is like you hack your biology to optimize yourself, to optimize your body and your health better. Like, so it's just little hacks. So supplementation is considered a biohack, things like that. So there's biohacks that everyone knows, like everyone knows supplementation, you know, but there's biohacks that not a lot of people know about and they don't really know the research about. For example, the main one I wanted to talk about today, Jackson, is cold showers.
Oh,
Because
shoot.
like, yeah, dude, cold showers. So like that's a biohack because we know
Right.
that if we stand in a cold shower for 3 to 5 minutes, 2 to 5 minutes even, you know, then we see all these different biomarkers. Like there's something called cold thermogenesis. And when you put your body into cold water or the cryo chambers. Carter sent me a video of Chris Bumstead, I think his last name is. He's like that Mr. Olympia 2019. He's cool. If you like bodybuilding, watch his YouTube because that's all he does. But he was doing the cryotherapy, which is cold air, and they get those things freezing. It was like 0 degrees or something like that. But the literature is pretty clear that getting in the cold water is just better. Water just it sucks more. You know, standing in a cold shower, you can last like 3 minutes before you're like, all right, I need to turn this thing off. But like in a cryo chamber, you could probably last 8 to 10 minutes, the same intensity. But anyways, so there's a bunch of different types of fat cells in the body, and one of the main ones is brown fat. So brown fat is responsible for heating the body. You know, just like anything. Like right now, it's a little chilly in my room because I've had the window open today, and it's like my brown fat is part of my body getting heated up is the brown fat. Like that's part of the job that brown fat does. And so there's something called cold thermogenesis, and this is like very, very clear in the scientific literature that when you're doing cold soaks in a river or in an ice bath or taking a cold shower every day, your body starts to produce more brown fat. And the more brown fat you have in your body, the more optimized your metabolism is. So what's interesting, one thing I've been learning, I don't know this very well yet because hormones is like the main thing I'm really studying right now because I don't know a lot about hormones, but they have a huge role to play in human beings. And so somebody who's obese, their hormones will do different things with the food they eat than us. So if we ate a 350 calorie cheeseburger, you know, if we ate that thing, our body would probably use the protein, put it in our muscles that we just damaged, and it would probably, you know, take some of the carbs and give us some energy to go throughout the day, and it would take some of the fat and kind of heal up some of the joints and things like that. But if a fat person, because their hormones do different things with the food, they can eat the exact same thing and their hormones are just going like ape nuts, you know, and they might just put all the freaking carbs into the fat cells, and the protein might just go out as poop. Like they won't utilize it as the same. And so it's the same thing. It's just extremely fascinating. But anyways, having more brown fat in your body is going to drastically change your body's ability to shrink normal fat cells, because that's what happens when you lose fat or burn fat. It's just fat cells shrinking, because everybody already has fat cells in their bodies, you know, and so you can shrink these fat cells, lose fat by increasing the amount of brown fat you have in your body. And so just to give you an idea of like brown fat, Wim Hof, he's in his upper 60s. He got his brown fat composition tested a couple years ago. He has the same amount of brown fat as a 20-year-old. But most 60-year-olds virtually have like no brown fat. So their metabolisms suck. You know, they eat food and it just goes straight to their fat cells, and they get tummy aches and they get bloated and they feel like crap. Anyways, I'm getting off on a tangent of stuff I don't even really know that much about, but it's just exciting stuff. But so I wanted to talk about like cold with you. And if you're down to get lean, man, you got to get in the cold. So, and I know you are, because I remember I would try to get my companions to take cold showers, and Jackson was one of the ones who did it with me a bunch of times. And so, anyways, have you been doing any like cold soaks, or does the team do that? I know a lot of athletic trainers will have
Do
their
ice
guys do
baths.
ice baths and stuff like that. So are you doing any cold exposure right now?
Yeah, that's actually super funny. You want to talk about it? Because I was literally telling Maddie like 3 days ago, I'm like, I'm gonna start taking cold showers again.
And
And
dude,
she was like,
that's what I'm talking about, bro.
dude, it's crazy. But I've been pretty on and off with it through since I've been home from my mission.
Yeah, same.
And now like I did it last year around this time once basketball started because I don't like the ice baths. I think they're disgusting because everybody uses them.
Oh, I
Like
didn't
I'd
know
rather just
that.
use my shower. Yeah,
Ew.
that's disgusting. Dudes are probably
Yeah, it's
their
and like
sweat
they
is just seeping into there, and then you get to sit in there and soak in their sweat. That's nasty.
no, and like they drain them every time, but I'm just like, and then they clean them and it takes forever, and I'm just like, look, nah, I don't want to mess with that.
It's
It's
like if
bad.
I can just do this at my house with my shower, like I'll just do
Right,
it.
or just even fill up a bath and then put your ice tray in it,
Yeah.
put like 3 or 4 ice trays in it.
And the thing about
That-
Idaho and Utah, dude, and
It's
winter's
already
coming around,
so freezing cold outside.
because
anyways.
I took cold showers last year in Virginia in the summer.
Mhm.
The water's
Yeah.
like the water doesn't do anything. The literature
So
shows
the water
that
never gets cold here in St. George. Like it has to
Really?
be on for like 30 minutes for it to get cold.
exactly. And so the goal is, the literature shows, all these studies have shown that you don't start to see thermogenesis and you don't start to see anti-inflammatory benefits from the cold unless it's about 55 degrees. That's where you start to see benefits. And so it's
The
best to
temperature
just
of
go
the water
colder.
or outside?
The water.
Okay.
And so a lot of places, probably like St. George, their tap water is probably 60, 65 degrees.
Yeah.
Or in Virginia in the summer, the tap water was like 65 degrees. So it was cold. It was like a chilly shower, but it wasn't like, oh gosh, like I can't breathe type of shower. But where we live,
Right.
especially with the pipes cooling down right now, like I've been taking cold showers this past week because same thing. I told Riley, I'm like, I'm going to start doing it again because I miss it.
Yeah.
And it's like, you just feel this like draw towards it, which is weird because it sucks. But anyways, even just from last week to last night I got in the cold shower and I was like, holy crap, like it's noticeably colder. So the pipes are cooling off right now. And so even if you filled up your tub and only had like 2 ice trays of ice, like that would be enough with how cold the water is right now. But anyways, so yeah, dude, I've been stoked to talk about this because I freaking love cold water. I'm a hot person. Like I would prefer to live in a hot place. I'd rather be hot than cold. But with cold water, it's just changed my life too much not to talk about it over and over and over. So
Yeah.
anyways, I've been learning more about how it helps you stay lean. And so this is what I wanted to chat with you about, see if you were down with this. If you want to get lean, it's crazy. You use cold to do it. So if you wake up in the morning, do your thing, whatever, say your prayers, journal, whatever you do for the first 15 to 30 minutes. Well, then take like you could take like a guarana seed extract. It's just, guarana seed's just a plant that's very high in caffeine. So it's just a good natural source of caffeine. Like I have guarana seed capsules at my house. And so while you're doing your morning thing, pop one of those. One of those is about 90 milligrams of caffeine. So not like a ton, but not like a little bit. It's like a moderate amount. And then go do something like not exercise, not cardio, but just something like a brisk walk, or it's getting cold outside. You could just do like some light, maybe 100 jumping jacks within like 4 sets. So split them up into 25. It's just something to get the heart going and the blood pumping, but don't go like crazy. And then go take a 3 to 5 minute cold shower and just stand there in the cold. And you're going to optimize your metabolism, and your body's going to start using fat for energy so fast. And you're going to start leaning out so quickly. Not only the fat loss and like getting lean muscle, but also, I mean, we know this, it's excellent it's an anti-inflammatory. So your body's going to heal a lot quicker. But anyways, have you done any breath work with the cold? Because I always do breath work before I get into the cold shower, but there's different types of breath work I do. So do you do any like types of breathing before you get in the cold water?
I don't do any before, but when I'm in, like that's when I do it because I don't want to be in there just like,
Yeah,
you know how you get, right? So like
you can feel your
when
diaphragm like trying to make you, but you're like, no.
right, trying to warm up and you're like, shoot. But I mean, before I get in, no, but when I'm in it, that's when I like take a deep breath, breathe out, like really try to feel your breath and things
Yeah.
like that. And I've seen that, help a lot. So
For sure. Yeah. One, I wanted to give you like 2 different breathwork exercises you can try. One of them's the Wim Hof breathing, which I've done a round of that with Carter, but the Wim Hof breathing is freaking amazing. It shuts off the inflammatory pathways in the body, which is just insane. So it's by flooding your body with tons of oxygen, because the Wim Hof breathing floods your body with oxygen, and you virtually have no carbon dioxide in your body after you do the breath work. And this decreases the inflammation in the body drastically. It fights off diseases and viruses. It like kickstarts your immune system. It feels amazing, and people have emotional breakthroughs doing it. Your body feels all warm and fuzzy and buzzy and like relaxed. But it also, this is what I wanted to get at, is it increases your pain tolerance.
Okay.
And so doing 3 rounds of Wim Hof breathing takes like 10 minutes. So if you're hard pressed for time, this isn't the one to do. But if it's like you're taking a cold shower, like, after work and school and stuff, and you got some time, you just lay on the ground, do the 10 minutes of the breath work. It's actually pretty tiring because you're not used to like using some of these muscles around your sternum and stuff like that. But so you do this breath work, and then you get in the cold shower, and then just do exactly what you're doing. Take those deep breaths. Don't let your body start like, that's the goal, is to like just take those long inhales, those long exhales, control the breath, and just let the cold do its thing. Because if you resist it, it sucks. But if you just like, okay, I'm in the cold, I'm going to accept it, and it's not that bad, honestly. And then when you turn it off, it feels amazing. Like, I don't know about you, but every time I get out of a cold shower, I'm just like filled with glee. I'm like, that was like the most amazing thing ever. Like, why haven't I done this?
Right, this might be a dumb question, but do you like turn it back warm?
No way, dude.
Okay.
Cold shower. You can.
Do you start warm?
I don't.
Or is it it's just straight cold?
Straight cold. But if you're
that sounds
first
terrible.
It's yeah. If you're first getting into cold, what I would do is take your hot shower, like shower, get clean, and then once you're done with everything, then turn the water cold. Don't turn it all the way cold. Turn it cold to where it's like, whew, cold, like 60 degrees. So around there, then you'll feel the cold. Stand in there for 20 to 30 seconds and then turn it off. Go about your day. The next day, do the same thing, but turn it a little bit colder and just start to work your way up. Like the way I started taking cold showers was, the reason I started taking cold showers is because I was trying to build some mental toughness and discipline, which it also does that, which is amazing.
Right,
like it totally builds discipline. It teaches you how to stay cool calm under stress, because it's a freaking huge stressor. I mean, you have like 40-degree water just pounding your back and it's like so cold. But if you can just keep your mind calm, then that's going to translate into a game when you're down by 2 and there's 5 seconds left and the ball's in your hand. You're going to be able to stay calm. Or when a girl just dumps you and you're so stressed and life feels like it's coming at you, but you can stay calm and level. And no, Carter, I did not use that.
I
No,
was like, oh my gosh, he's talking to me.
But anyways, yeah, what I would do is, in Harker's Island, it was winter, so the pipes were freezing. So they were actually cold showers, but I would do 20 seconds of ice cold water at the end of my shower. And I would do 10 seconds on my chest and 10 seconds on my back. And I would count out loud. And I started doing that as a missionary just to build discipline. It wasn't until a little bit later I started learning all the health benefits. And then I was like, whoa, this is really amazing. Like what it can do for you. And all it takes is 3 to 5 minutes a day. Like that's really not that long. Like you can stand in cold water for 3 minutes. Anybody can. But
well, I was just going to say, I try and turn the water cold after my hot shower anyway, just because of the skin benefits. So I was just
really good for the skin.
I didn't even know that like it did that.
It helps. My face will, like, breakouts go away. My skin gets healthy and vibrant. I don't have to use as much moisturizer, which is awesome. So yeah, it's really good for your skin for sure. That's like one of the main benefits of it, actually. But anyways, I would say get back on the cold shower kick, bro. And I'm in it with you. I wanted you to know, like, that's why I've been doing it this past week. Cause I'm like, if he wants to do it, I just want you to know, like, I'm doing it too. So if you don't want to take your cold shower, be like, oh, Reese probably took his. And it's like, I did. Like, I'm committing. Like last night, I didn't want to take one. I did. And I freaking felt amazing after. Like, it's crazy how good you feel. And Carter, one thing I do now that I'm like easing back into it, cause I haven't taken cold showers for a while, is I'm like doing all my washing of my body outside of the
That's what I
water.
was gonna ask is are you just getting in the shower or are you actually taking a shower? Okay.
So but once I'm easing back into it, because once I'm back in my prime, I shower in the water the whole time. Like actually doing your shower stuff. You shower
Okay.
so fast. Like you start to shower really fast. But then
Maybe
what I
that's what I
do,
need to do. I can get ready faster in the morning.
oh, you totally can. And anyways, what I do is I have the Calm app, and it has one of these like meditations where it just plays my pretty meditation music, which I like to have just calm music while I'm in there, because to me it's kind of like a
You
humbling
use
thing to stand in the cold water.
the golden one that sounds like the Minecraft
Um,
music.
oh dude, I know which one you're talking about. That's one of my favorites.
I use
Which
that
one am I
one
using right
almost
now?
every day in seminary when I have a ponder. It's like my
I'm using this
favorite
like
thing.
green one right now.
Okay.
But anyways, I just play this thing. It plays a bell sound every 1 minute. And so what I'll do is I'll be standing outside of the cold water waiting to get in. And then when I hear the bell, I'll get under the cold water, start controlling my breath, and I'll do a minute on my chest, a minute on my back, a minute on my chest. And if I'm taking a 3-minute shower, if I'm taking a 5-minute shower, then, you know, I'll just keep alternating. So every time I hear the bell, I just turn over. And also, Jackson, what you want to do when you're in the cold shower, make sure that you let the cold water hit here for at
That's
least
the worst part, bro.
5 seconds under the armpit, 5 seconds under this armpit.
Yeah.
The reason being is because there's a system in the body called the lymphatic system, and the lymphatic system is the garbage man of your body. It takes out all the toxins, all the chemicals that you're getting through the air and through processed food, and it's going to flush that out. You're going to heal faster. Inflammation's going to go down. Your immune system goes up. You get sick less. It's absolutely amazing. But the thing about the lymphatic system is it doesn't have a heart, so to speak. So, you know, our blood, our veins, our cardiovascular system has a pump, but the lymphatic system doesn't have a pump. And so you have to pump it yourself, and ways to pump it yourself is stay really hydrated, get physical activity in throughout the day, even if that's just walking. You know, if you're walking 10,000 steps, that's going to help a lot. Jump on a little trampoline, shoot some hoops, but also getting cold water on the lymph nodes. So it has different like checkpoints of the lymphatic system, and 2 of the main lymph nodes are right here under the armpit, and that's where the freaking cold water hurts the most, dude. Like you'll be fine. You're like, I'm used to it now. And then I'll put my armpit there and I'm like, oh gosh, like not used to it. But just start with like 5 seconds, just like 1, oh gosh, 2, 3, and then do the next one. And then also, this sounds weird, but get it on your gonads.
Okay.
2 things.
What are
this
those?
Does. That's your balls, Carter.
Oh.
And 2 things. Listen to what
Okay.
this will boost your testosterone. Not even joking. The cold on your balls will help your testosterone, will help your sperm count and your fertility, which is important for us married men who plan to have families. I'm joking, bro. But also it's the lymphatic system runs down there too. So it's just important to be getting it everywhere, but because you just want to help your body's lymphatic system work, because it doesn't work without us moving. And you don't want toxins building up in your muscles and around your joints. Like you just don't want that. You want to get all that stuff out, flush it out. And then that's kind of it with the cold. And then the next question I would have is saunas. Do you ever do a sauna?
I mean, oh gosh. That's like a super simple question with like kind of a complicated answer. What I did over the summer was we had a sauna at Active, the place that I worked.
Yeah.
So I would use that over the summer, but I haven't done it since I got to Idaho.
Okay, cool. Another thing about saunas, I think it was Finland. They did like tons of studies with saunas over the past decade, and they've just built up like enormous amounts of facts and information that is showing how like amazing saunas are for the body. So if you notice, extreme temperatures are really good in small doses. You know, a 1 hour cold shower might blunt your nervous system, hurt your heart, and you might be hypothermic after. But a 5 to 10 minute cold shower lowers inflammation, boosts testosterone, gets your lymphatic system moving, increases brown fat, which helps your metabolism, which helps your body utilize the fat that you don't want for energy. So it's like amazing in small doses. Same thing with a sauna. So saunas the obvious thing is it makes you sweat a freak ton. And one thing people don't think about is there's heavy metals that we ingest, especially if you're using like cheap pots and pans to cook your food, then you're getting a lot of those metals in the food, microscopic little pieces. But if you're cooking, with these cheap metals every single day, you're building up a lot of metals inside the body. And one of the main ways the body gets those out is through sweating. But most people don't sweat every day or hardly at all, like actual sweating. And I'm sure you're dripping sweat doing these HIIT workouts, which is awesome. But basically, I mean, you just want to heat your body up a lot. And so if you do have access to a sauna, if you don't, it's not a big deal. But if you do, I would do like 30 minutes a week. Just go sit in there for 30 minutes and do whatever you want in there, but just get really freaking hot, sweat a ton. One of the main things that the sauna does is it makes your body produce more human growth hormone, which is like if you
HGH is like an illegal substance. So if you can produce that on your own, you're going to get huge.
Dude, HGH is like the God hormone, or like that's what people call it. People call it the God hormone because it think about a little kid. Like little kids have a freak ton of human growth hormone. And if they fall and break their arm, like I broke my arm when I was a kid and it was a willow fracture, which means that the bone bends, but it doesn't snap. And those ones are actually more painful because the pressure doesn't release. Anyways, within 4 weeks, my arm was almost completely back to normal. And after the 6-week time period, I was fine. I was 7 years old. So my body bounced back so fast. And what they're seeing is that when people are turning about 20, 21, 22, that's when their HGH starts to go down. But it doesn't have to go down. The reason it's going down is because people aren't sleeping well. People are eating like crap. People are working themselves to death. People's relationship sucks. Their spiritual life sucks. So it's like, the reason their HGH is going down is not because their body can't produce it anymore. It's just because their lifestyle sucks. And so you can do things to keep your HGH up. And HGH is like, if HGH is like an example of how awesome it is, it's like you could play freaking three games in a day at a tournament, go to sleep. If you have high levels of HGH, you'll wake up the next day ready to play 3 more games. But if a 30-year-old did that, who's not taking care of themselves, they'd be wiped out for the next day. They'd be like,
even like
so
when we went and played football and we were super sore, it's probably because we hadn't been.
Dude, we got
up in our we had all been out, at least like I think like at least 15 months or something like that, and so we hadn't been.
I forgot about that.
Up keeping it. We were wrecked.
Dude, I couldn't walk barely.
It looked like we had all crapped our pants because we were walking around like freaking weirdos.
Dude, I straight up couldn't even walk after that. I can't even believe that. Like that felt like I just went and hit like barbell squats for like an hour.
I've never felt that way before. Like
we were really going crazy though.
Yeah,
we were going hard.
Dude, that's funny. But anyways, if you can mix a sauna into your mix, I would, because it's going to help with your recovery like a lot.
Can you do that just in a hot shower? Like, is that the same thing? Like,
yeah, but the thing is like you want to get hot. Like, if you ever been in a sauna, it's like it's not enjoyable. Like people think like, oh, I'll go sit in the sauna. It's like, no, if you're sitting in the sauna and doing a real sauna session, it's like, oh, when is this 30 minutes going to be freaking over? Because this sucks. Like that's how it should be. Okay. Obviously the heat's a lot easier to withstand than the cold. 5-minute cold shower, 3 to 5 minute cold shower, 30-minute, 20 to 40 minutes is what I'd say. You could go do a 20-minute sauna session, but what you want is you want your core temperature to go up. So it's almost like you're inducing a mini fever in yourself. But the thing is just taking a hot shower for 10 minutes probably is not going to make your core temperature go up. But I mean, you can achieve it through exercise. So maybe one day a week, do a more like for you, Carter, maybe you could do a more like type of exercise Jackson's doing, where it's more like HIIT, superset type exercise, and wear a hoodie and sweats during it. So it's like get your body hot. Like that's the point. Get your body hot and then get it cold. And then another thing I wanted to say, this isn't like super important, and the literature is not super clear, but there's a lot of anecdotal evidence that suggests that right after a workout, don't get in the cold for at least like 2 hours. Because after you work out, your body gets really inflamed, but it's the type of inflammation you want. It's the hormetic response to heal. And so at very, very least, like if you're pressed for time, just wait till your pump goes away. Then you're like, okay, it'll be okay. But really, it's not a huge deal, because the only time that would be an issue is if you lowered your core body temperature. But to lower your core body temperature, you'd have to take like a 30-minute cold shower. So if you're just taking a quick cold shower after, it's not a huge deal. And then
Okay.
Jackson's like, as
So-
soon as I leave the gym, it's going to be negative 10 degrees. So
yeah, no, dude, when I leave the gym, when it's cold outside, I always put like a hoodie on before I walk out again, because I just feel like I have like all this blood in my arms and I don't just want the blood vessels to like constrict really fast. So I try to like
Right.
stay a little bit warm, let my body run its course, because you want that inflammation after a workout. That's what's going to heal you. It's just when inflammation gets out of hand, that's when it creates disease. But a little bits of inflammation, that's how your body heals. And so you don't want to blunt that with tons of cold right after an exercise or a workout. But again, if you're pressed for time, it's not a huge deal. But if you can, maybe wait like 2 or 3 hours before you hop in the cold.
Right.
Sorry, I feel like I'm talking a lot. Do you guys have anything to say?
So I had a couple of things just while you were talking. One about the cold, one about the hot. I did remember as a team we did do hot yoga.
Oh, cool. That's a perfect example. Like if you're doing hot yoga, you wouldn't have to mix the sauna in there unless you wanted to.
Right. So
So that's
because
awesome.
that freaking sucks.
I've
dude.
never
Have
done
you
that, but I'm sure it sucks.
Carter, have you ever done it?
I've never done that. I've just done yoga with my team before, but we
Yoga's
didn't do hot
hard.
yoga.
Yoga
Yoga
hard.
Yoga is hard, and hot yoga it's terrible. Like
Is it basically
You're-
doing yoga in a sauna?
pretty much.
Yeah, pretty
like,
much.
Dude, you walk in and the room is like 106 degrees, and you're like, I have to balance and stretch in this heat. Like it's brutal. Anyway, so I did just remember that while you were talking.
Oh, dude,
and
then
so,
you're set, bro. That's awesome.
Yes, so that's been something we've been doing. And then with the cold showers, what I was thinking is like the thing that motivates me with cold showers is if I can take a cold shower right now, I can pretty much do anything. Because cold showers are seriously so sucky, bro.
And dude,
that-
your brain is like, don't get in the water, don't get in the water, and you're like,
Right.
all right, let's get. It's like,
Yeah, and then it's
crazy.
just totally like body over your mind, and you just like you said, you just feel like so empowered after you get out.
Oh,
You're like,
yeah.
I just took a cold shower. So it's kind of like what you were saying, where it helps you handle difficult situations or like high intense pressure situations.
yeah,
But it's that same kind of mentality where it's like, dude, if I took a cold shower today, then yeah, I can hit this game-winning shot, or yeah, then I can
yeah,
teach
It
this
brings a
seminary class,
confidence.
or yeah, no, totally, it does. So
yeah.
that's why I love cold showers. I just
Yeah.
wanted to say that.
Awesome. No, it's so true. It's like I feel like most people who don't know about the physical benefits of it, they start getting into it for that mental aspect of it, because it's so true. It literally trains your brain to be calm, confident under stressful situations. And yeah, it's just like, wow, I just stood in ice cold water for 3 minutes. Like I'm a baller. Because it is
Right.
hard, but anyways, yeah, that's awesome, man. And I just remembered I didn't even talk about the other breath work.
Okay.
It's not anything. This one is more practical because you don't have to lay on the ground or anything like that. Reason you have to lay on the ground if you're doing Wim Hof is because a lot of people pass out. I've passed out during it, but it feels amazing when you pass out, by the way. It's like euphoric, like it's super odd. Anyways, all you do is, this is just a nose breathing exercise. And so I did it yesterday. I was standing, the water was running, and I was looking at it, and I was like, okay, before I get in, I'm going to heat my body up a little bit. So this one doesn't have as many benefits as the Wim Hof breathing, but it's good for like, I just need to take this 4-minute shower. Let me do this breathing. And it's kind of weird. Like you feel kind of silly doing it. And like Maddie will probably be in the other room. Like, what the freak is he doing in there? But you only breathe through your nose. So you just keep your mouth closed. And basically you just go like, and you're breathing like into your diaphragm, and you're just pushing all the air out, sucking it in. Do that like 30 times. And if you start to get a little lightheaded, just make sure you're like sit on the toilet or something. You don't want to fall over, but that's going to really ramp up the heat inside your body.
Honey, I found the toilet.
Oh gosh, my head's stuck. Oh, get the plunger. You didn't
He
flush
comes in and
after.
just flushes it, and then gives
She
you a
gives you-
swirly.
Yeah, what's that called? A swirly. She's like, nerd. But anyways, do that, just like 30 breaths of it, dude, and you'll just feel like supercharged, because you're going to put a lot of oxygen in your body, and it's going to heat up. You'll start to feel like in your diaphragm starts to heat up. And then it's not like that makes the cold shower easy. It doesn't. but it's just like another added thing that can help you stay consistent with cold showers. And then, yeah, once you get in there, just do you. Everyone does different breathing styles. Like some people do box breathing, where you breathe in 4 seconds, hold 4 seconds, breathe out 4 seconds, hold 4 seconds. That one's really good because Navy SEALs use that one to calm their nervous systems down. So that one's really good, but it's kind of hard in a shower because you have to breathe through your nose for that one. And there's like water all over your nose. So that's why I don't do it in the shower. But yeah, just long exhales is pretty much the key. Like if you're taking long exhales are directly correlated with the parasympathetic nervous system, which is like the rest and relax and repair nervous side of your nervous system. So yeah, just long exhales and you'll be golden. But Carter, if I was you, yeah, I would start taking cold showers right now because St. George pipes aren't cold yet. So you can start to like ease into it.
Yeah, no, and it's something I've like I said, like I try and do at the end of every shower anyway. So I didn't know if you guys like took a hot shower before and then finished. So that's I think trying to be more intentional about it instead of just kind of trying to do that. Because honestly, like I said, like I will turn it all the way down and it will maybe get to probably like 70 degrees. And I'm like, this isn't super cold. So I think trying to maybe start with that, because I'm sure it hasn't warmed up yet. So just trying to hurry and just jump in once I start the shower. So because usually, I mean, like normal people will be like, oh, I'll let the shower run for 2 minutes so the cold water will get out or whatever. And so
exactly, yeah.
So
no, yeah, I think it'd be cool.
I was just gonna say I like having this conversation because it's like helped me realize maybe some of the weaknesses that are in my physical kind of spectrum of the stool of physical, mental, and spiritual, or whatever those stool pillars are. So it's like it's been cool for me because like I definitely want to continue to increase my cardio thing, and then being able to work on the cold shower. So I was just gonna say I've really learned a lot just by listening. So I just wanted to thank both of you guys for what you said so far. It's just like it's helped me out a lot. So I was like, dang, we need to just like maybe even just do a separate episode on the nutrition, because I feel like the same type of thing is going to happen. And so like for me, I've been more of a listener. So even just purely for people that listen to it, I was like, this has been like really cool. So I just wanted to like show my appreciation for that.
Cool. Yeah, I appreciate that, because sometimes I'm like, this has been an issue my whole life where I just feel like I'm talking too much. And it's funny because I'll say to myself consciously, I'm like, yeah, I should probably shut up. And then like, it won't happen. Like I'll be at like a party or a family get together or something. And it's just like, once people get me talking, it's like, dude, I don't know how to shut it off. It's just like the extrovert energy inside of me. But, so yeah, I appreciate that, man. But yeah, Jackson, do you have any like final thoughts, like any final questions or ideas or anything like that?
Honestly, no. I mean, I'd have to agree with Carter, like just from you as well, learning and have a lot of takeaways as well. If you could send me, I know you're going to send me what you're talking about at the beginning, but also what's it called? The breathing exercise?
Yeah, the Wim Hof breathing.
I was going to say Wuhan. I don't know where that came from, but that's definitely
that's
not
where
close.
Corona got started.
Right. Oh. Okay. Something like that.
In a lab. No, I'll send that stuff over. The last thing I wanted to mention, we'll dive more into this in the next one. Dude, we could have you on like your next available time. Like that'd be cool. But would be creatine. If you're not on creatine right now, I would get on it. Like that's one of my favorite supplements. Like I talk to Carter about it all the time, because when I first learned about it, or when I first heard about it, it was I had heard about it here and there, and then I become companions with Elder Van Leuven with Carter and stuff, and he was taking creatine, and I was like, and he's jacked, and I'm like, what is this creatine stuff? Like,
he was always complaining about his kidneys,
and so we thought it was like the creatine was hurting his kidneys, and we were just like, I can't believe he's on this stuff.
What is he doing?
And then Jackson became my companion, and somehow creatine came up, and he's like, oh yeah, I cycled creatine for a whole summer before my senior year, and I was like, really? Like your mom was like,
did your kidneys hurt?
Yeah. Did you freaking get freaking kidney stones? But anyways, when I came home from my mission,
isn't that crazy? Your whole perception of something can be like totally skewed, but like for some people
completely skewed.
That's crazy.
Like for most of my life, it was completely skewed. And then I started studying creatine, and I was like, wow, not everybody, because everybody's body's different, but most people should be on this supplement Like it's amazing. Like old people should definitely be on it. Vegans should always 100% be on creatine
Yeah.
because they're not eating meat. But even us, we can benefit from it. So for you, I mean, I would probably just take 3 to 5 grams of it a day.
Is it a banned substance? Do you know?
No, I don't think so.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
No, because I mean, your body makes creatine. It's in chicken, it's in beef, it's in fish. Like creatine is just, it's a thing, and it really helps on a cellular level for your cells to make more energy. It's definitely not a stimulant. Like you drink creatine, you feel like you just drink water. Like it's not like it's a stimulant. But honestly, as an athlete, for you, like just drink creatine kind of whenever. Like it's not that big of a deal. Like I would just throw it in some water with some electrolytes in a water bottle one day, and that's what I do. Like I'll have I have an electrolyte mix, and I'll just throw electrolytes and some creatine, shake it up. You know, it's this big water bottle, so it'll last like an hour or two. And so, but creatine and then omega-3s. So whether that be through a fish oil capsule or through I have a different type of omega-3 supplement that comes from algae.
Okay.
It's less studied. Like the fish oil is, the evidence is very clear, like the benefits of it, but it's nonetheless, it's omega-3. Are you taking an omega-3 supplement right now?
Yeah, I take fish oil supplement.
Dude, you're on top of the game. So yeah, I would just say like always be taking those. I freaking like, that's like, I need my omega-3s. I take a gram a day. Most people, I like the recommended dose on a lot of bottles is like half a gram. But if you're an athlete or if you're training hard, I would be taking a gram a day. So you might already be doing that, but yeah, definitely stay on top of that. And then we can dive into more of this stuff next time, because this is where it gets real. Because like with training, it's like you're an athlete for the most part. There's not much new things I can teach you. And then as far as eating goes, or I mean, like these other things, it's like, you know, like cold showers and heat and stuff. It's like you're already kind of doing those things. You already had the desire to do a cold shower, but the nutrition is like where it gets real and fun. And I know you've dealt with gut issues throughout your life, and I have too. And I'm still healing it. Like the past 2 weeks have been kind of off with my gut. Like it's always just this like learning and nurturing my gut, and I
right.
It's because I poisoned you when you were down here. So
that's it. I knew it. I knew I felt weird. But anyway, so I'm excited to talk about that with you, Jackson, just because I know, like, you know, a lot of people deal with gut issues, but not everybody's is chronic. And so I know yours has kind of been chronic, and I've had pretty intense bouts of it here and there throughout my life. And so it's a good thing to talk about. Gut health is like health, like your gut needs to be right, but it's a tricky thing because everyone's body's different. You know, like if I eat a banana, my gut gets mad and like it gets inflamed, and but like banana's a healthy food. So, you know, everyone's body's different and stuff. So it'll be fun to talk about that a little bit. But anyways, that's all I have to say for today.
Yeah,
all good stuff.
Yeah, well, thanks for making the time to come on. I know you probably have schoolwork and, you know, other workouts, and you got a wife to attend to as well. And so you'll have to tell her thank you for allowing us to take some of your time, and
definitely
tell her we say hi and hope things are going good. But yeah, we really appreciate it. And I hope you, like both of you guys and Jackson as well, like it's like Reese was saying, like the one of the things we're trying to do is create a culture of where there's a lot of people doing very similar things. Like you're saying, like the cold shower, it's like, oh, I know Reese like took his shower today, so like I want to be able to do it. Like that's something that's been really cool about mine and Reese's friendship that has been really helpful, and that I would add Jackson and I would add Cameron into that.
Yeah,
is like
I was thinking Cameron too.
There's people that, you know, it's like, oh, I don't want to do my personal study today. It's like, well, you know, I'm sure, you know, Jackson and Reese or Cameron have done something like that today, where it's like,
yeah,
I need to get my workout in today. So, you know, I know that these people are doing it, or I, you know, I really want to, you know, go over my 40 grams of sugar today, but I know that, you know, so-and-so is doing that. So I just wanted to thank you guys for creating that culture, because it's like, it's really powerful, because it's hard to, you know, try and do these things alone. And so I just wanted to again thank you guys for allowing that type of culture where it doesn't turn to judgment if you do mess up, but it's more of like pushing each other to become the best. Because I like, okay, now I'm getting on my spiritual soapbox, but we're learning about the DNC 88 is about the School of the Prophets, and basically they're
Mm.
in there perfecting themselves, like education wise and spiritually. And I feel like we're creating a very similar environment, but with everything. So I just want to say I thank you guys for that, because it's like that's a pretty tough environment to create. So I just want to say thank you.
For
Yeah,
sure.
man. Hey, and back at you, man. It's like, it's taken all of us, and it really is a good, clean energy of like, no judgment. It's just like empowering each other. And I really feel that. And I feel like with, all three of us here and Cameron included, I feel like that's just kind of been some of the most impactful companions I've ever had. And it's been awesome just to stay in touch for so long, because some of my other companions, like I haven't talked to them forever. And it's not that I have anything against them, but it's just like, I don't even really have a desire to keep up with their lives, which is fine. But with you guys, it's like, it's been awesome to continue that like self-help, spiritual growth culture we had created in our companionship, and to keep that going. And so, yeah, man, I love both of you guys a ton.
Yeah. And I guess what I would add is, the accountability side of it has helped me a ton too. And I'm going to butcher this quote, but a goal.
That's okay. We always butcher our quotes.
I remember having this conversation.
Yeah, that
Jeff,
was
but
dude.
yeah.
We've had that conversation a couple more times since then, and it's like a meme now. It's so funny.
Dude,
Sorry.
it's so funny. But
Yeah.
just going along with accountability, like it's something like a goal that, you just kind of keep to yourself. You're, 20% likely to achieve it, but a goal that have a support group, somebody to
Mhm.
keep you accountable,
Yeah.
even if it's just one person, you're like 300% more likely to accomplish that goal. So
Yeah.
like 20% or 300%, I don't know if those are the exact numbers,
That's
but
probably good
even
estimates.
still, like it's
Yeah.
pretty close either way. So no, I've definitely appreciated that. And we started recording just right off the bat, but I didn't get to express my thanks and gratitude towards you guys too, not just for that keeping me accountable and checking in on me, and especially Reese, helping me understand more about nutrition and working out different kinds of things as well. I've just appreciated all that, and all you guys have done to help me as well, and for asking me to be on, because I think it helps me grow. It pushes me, because naturally I'm pretty introverted, and to get out and to kind of talk about my experiences and things I've been doing is good for me. So, and it's good to talk about it with friends. Again, no
Yeah.
judgment. It's just we're bros. We're here for each other. It's awesome. So I just appreciate you guys.
Awesome, man. Yeah. Love you guys.
All right, love you, ANL Nation.
That's
We'll talk
right.
to y'all
We
later.
we'll catch you later. Maybe we'll have Jackson on for 41, maybe not, but we'll have you back on soon, because I want to keep this ball
I want
rolling.
to talk about nutrition.
Yeah, we don't want to let it get too far in the future. So yeah, we'll stay in touch.
For sure.
But awesome. Yeah, we'll catch y'all later.
Love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye. Love you.